Rural Americans deserve access to the best of what our nation has to offer, especially healthcare. Across every state and every community, America's rural hospitals are the first line of defense, protecting our families, neighbors, and loved ones. No matter where you live, hospital care doesn't clock out. They're there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Each year, America's over 5,000 hospitals care for millions of patients, providing 24/7 emergency care, delivering babies, cancer treatments, and other life-saving care that patients rely on. Behind every one of those patients are doctors, nurses, and caregivers working tirelessly to keep people healthy and safe. Hospitals are our community's lifelines. They employ our neighbors and keep our families healthy. But now, some in Congress are threatening access to care. Tell Congress, protect patient care to keep America strong. Don't cut rural health care.
Listen, all you New Yorkers.
Excuse me.
Taxi.
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
By the way, speaking of the Kennedys, there is a book we have. It is the greatest book, and I mean, if you think the Kennedys are just, it's endless. The stories, but not so much now, but I'm talking, one of them was the competition between Lee Radziwill and Jackie O. Oh my God. Have you ever heard Lee Radziwill's voice? Do me a favor, write this down. Listen to her give an interview. Lee Radziwill, towards the end of her life. Just listen to this. You've never heard anything. Did you ever watch Grey Gardens? Are you familiar with that? Grey Gardens, Big Edie and Little Edie. Please watch this. Invite some friends over. Get a lot of cocktails or something that you like, shrooms, whatever you care for. You could even smoke dryer lint, which is an old Hopi Indian technique. But just watch Grey Gardens. And there's another one where, because they were connected to the, how do I say this? They were connected to the Bouvier family. Oh, it's phenomenal. And the relationship between Blackjack Bouvier and the two sisters competing for Papa's attention. I'm going to stop right there. Unbelievable. Truth is greater than fiction. Now, let me tell you something, my friends. As you know, one of the things that is your cover is the truth. What do I mean by that? Sometimes when you claim that you've done something, or if somebody accuses, let's say, somebody of something. Marshall McLuhan said one time that how do I say this? He said that little lies are hard to keep secret, but big lies are easy because of our incredulity, meaning the bigger the lie, the bigger the story, the bigger the the crime, the easier it is to keep hidden because nobody can believe it even happened in the first place. If that makes any sense. Okay? You got that? Okay. So, for example, when Bill Clinton was alleged to have had his way with Monica Lewinsky, what he should have said was the truth, but said it in such a way that it sounded hard to, yeah, right. You say, what? Did I have sex with who? Who, this? What, this? Yeah, oh, yeah, right. Oh, yeah. Me, the President of the United States, could have anybody in the world. Now, who do I pick? This one. The portly pepper pot. Remember that? They called her that in the New York Post? Yeah. And what's the thing about hide the panatella? What am I, sick? Yeah, sure. Yeah. Whatever you say, buddy. Okay. Read the transcript back. Did I have sex with her? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Just read it, but absent yourself from the histrionics and that sort of thing. Well, sometimes you just tell people the truth. So when you have somebody, let's say you had, if somebody picked up the phone and said, hey, Bobby, what is it? Listen, we got a problem with this Marilyn Monroe. What about it? You know damn well. Well, what do you want me to do? You know what I want you to do. Okay. All right. Say no more. You sure? Yeah, we'll do it. Now, here's the story. They're finally opening this up, like they're reopening the case of Kurt Cobain, which many people have never believed at all of it being even remotely true. The story it just stunk to high heaven. So let's go through the facts of this, and I'll tell you a few things which maybe people did not know then, but they know now. Marilyn Monroe, who by the by was a great actress. Do not kid yourself for a moment. She came across kind of like an airhead in the ditz, but she was very, 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 very good, very smart. She was found dead on August of... Oh, and by the way, again, nobody today can even come close to her in terms of her stature as a star. Nobody today. Who was a star? What? Taylor Swift? No. Who? Madonna? No. Sydney? There's no... We don't have stars like this. Who today is the Gregory Peck or the Cary Grant of Hollywood? Nobody. Who? George Clooney? Nobody. Nobody. They don't exist today. They don't exist. I was watching some great... Don't ask me why, but I was watching every possible documentary on William Friedkin and The Exorcist, and I just... Oh, my God. Those were directors, and those were the days. But in any event, my dear friend, Marilyn Monroe was found dead on August the 5th, 1962, in her Los Angeles home from a barbiturate overdose. Allegedly, the official ruling was probable suicide. However, questions have persisted for decades. Some argue it was an accidental overdose tied to prescription drug use. Others suggest foul play, pointing to alleged links with powerful figures, inconsistencies in timelines, and disputed witness accounts. The absence of a clear paper trail for now has obtained, the absence of a clear paper trail for how she obtained the final fatal dose has also fueled speculation. They don't just hand out Nembutal, but despite numerous investigations and books, they claim no evidence has been evinced for overturning the original ruling. However, her death was ruled a probable suicide from acute barbiturate poisoning, but several specific details have fueled suspicion. Number one, toxicology reports show extremely high levels of Nembutal and chlorohydrate in her system, quantities that some experts argued were difficult to ingest voluntarily. Critics have reported and pointed out that no significant pill fragments were reportedly found in her stomach, leading to speculation that the drugs may not have been swallowed. This has given rise to theories that the substances were administered through another method, including what many people believe to be the enema method. Now, please hear me out. If you are mildly incapacitated or you are for whatever reason, and you were to introduce a lethal dose of barbiturates via syringe or enema or something, because of the high absorption rates in that particular area. In fact, that is a way of administering drugs sometimes to people who are indeed incapacitated, can't swallow. It would make complete and total sense. The housekeeper herself said, when she heard that she took all of these pills, he said, no way. In no way, no wise could there ever be, the chance of her taking these many pills. It doesn't exist. Couldn't have happened because she couldn't swallow one pill. Not to mention the pills were turned over or whatever. They always suspected Bobby Kennedy, John Kennedy, and Peter Lawford. There were talks where she was going to blow the lid off this. She had diaries, and she might have been pregnant. I don't know if she was, but she was not going to be abandoned. That's why, my friends, one of the great movies ever, to me, the scariest movie of all time, was Fatal Attraction. When Glenn Close plays Alex Forrest, I believe, and she says, quote, "I will not be ignored." I one time had a friend of mine who was going through a terrible divorce. Terrible. And I think I've said the theaters, I don't remember, but I suggested, yeah, you should see this. He said he was squeezing the armrest so much because when this woman is going crazy, she says, well, maybe I should just meet your wife. Oh, no. Wait a minute. Remember Tony Soprano? Remember that one where it's one of those things where you really don't know what you're doing. And it's terrible because they feel let on, or they feel somehow, what am I trying to say? They feel themselves, kind of led down the primrose path. In any event, it became a problem. So all of a sudden, she's gone. Remember when she did that Happy Birthday, Mr. President, and Jackie Kennedy had to sit there? What the hell was that all about? Now, at the time, and even now, if you were to say something to the effect of, I think they may have offed her themselves, people will look at you like, what are you, nuts? What are you, crazy? Do you know what you're saying? That's how people get away with murder. They get away with murder like that.
Rural Americans deserve access to the best of what our nation has to offer, especially health care. Across every state and every community, America's rural hospitals are the first line of defense, protecting our families, neighbors, and loved ones. No matter where you live, hospital care doesn't clock out. They're there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Each year, America's over 5,000 hospitals care for millions of patients, providing 24/7 emergency care, delivering babies, cancer treatments, and other life-saving care that patients rely on. Behind every one of those patients are doctors, nurses, and caregivers working tirelessly to keep people healthy and safe. Hospitals are our community's lifelines. They employ our neighbors and keep our families healthy. But now, some in Congress are threatening access to care. Tell Congress, protect patient care to keep America strong. Don't cut rural health care.